Crazy hair, don't care, and today we are piddling around hair. Not just piddling, we got stuff we gotta do. There's always the little crap that's going on that you can either do it during the main channel, or like me, I like doing my second channel stuff. One, we've got some tools right there we need to unbox. Those are some lift accessories, but kind of my main focus, just drug those over here. They're heavy, okay? I still need to get me a golf cart for going from the house to here or around the property down to the mailbox. I ain't lazy, but when you get a package like that transmission jack that's, I don't know, probably 100 pounds, carrying that from the front door over to here was a chore. It was a little heavy. In my old age, I may be getting weaker. I may not be feeling so strong. But them testosterone pellets I get in my butt on Friday are probably gonna help with that. Anyhow, we also got some stuff here I've been needing for our welders. Retro sound, that ain't nothing for the welder. I think this one and this one, we've got a MIG gun. I think our liner's been going out on this one. Of course, I've had this welder for a long time and she's been a gooder. I ain't replaced nothing on it. I did upgrade that ain't true. I upgraded our ground at one point. But I think our liner is probably in bad shape in here, and we could have replaced the liner fairly cheap. However, I decided to buy one with a longer lead. That way we can snake into more places when we're crawling underneath these cars and everything, and I shouldn't have to crawl out from underneath them as often to drag the welder to the other side of the vehicle or whatever. Having an extra 5 foot on there should help us. Like a kid on Christmas. Oh, this ain't even for our MIG welder, is it? That's a torch cover right there. And that is a torch for our TIG welder. Ooh, nice little manual. This baby's got the max flow improved cooling capacity, 4 times cooling surface area of the competitor's torch, allegedly. Guys, finding a torch for the Everlast was kind of a pain, but we'll get into that in a minute. The retro belt, what we got here, retro sound. But I bought the retro belts. I do believe those are our belts for our GMC project. We can store it in here with the rest of our parts. Got some carpet for it as well. Told y'all I want to get the GMC wrapped up. I want to get that S10 wrapped up. And then we're going to go into some Model A build, a little more high-end build. And in between that, we're going to bounce to El Camino budget build. Of course, that'll all be main channel action. Be expecting to see that come February, probably. Around then's when we're going to be able to start. Unfortunately, these butt pellets are about to put me down for some time. Once we come back, though, we're going to come back swinging. So this should be our lead for our MIG. And I'm hoping it don't have the huge, massive nozzle on it. Oh no, that's her right there, baby. Oh yeah, I think she's longer. We want to break it in by dragging it. Holy poop! I'm gonna be able to reach across the shopping wheel if I need to. I don't know about y'all, but if you're really bad at looking up parts and ordering stuff and getting the wrong stuff like I am, this is a sense of accomplishment thinking I have the right one here. You do a little comparing on length. This poor one's got kinks down through it. I can't imagine why it's having a hard time. Y'all see the extra reach we're gonna get now? Well, not really, but you get an idea. About an extra 5 foot's worth, which is gonna make a huge difference. Crazy hair don't care, but I found a hat, so I'll put it back on top of my head. We're gonna see if we can't replace this without having to, slam the door. And we're gonna see if we can replace it without having to move our hypotherm off here. Stuff may be falling, but don't worry, this is just organized chaos. Everything's where it's supposed to be. I brought this because one, I know we have a zip tie on this for our ground. So, snap, that can be gone. Popped our tensioner off and I'm gonna snip that wire. And then, what do we gotta do? I guess technically we could leave it right there as long as we don't mess it up. Down here, little cannon plug action. That should just be a 2-prong for our switch out there. And I'm just assuming that this right here is gonna clamp that. Oh yeah, she's got some, she's there. She got a little tension on it. There we go. I think we're gonna pop that sucker loose. Kind of shake on her. Maybe we can look at this one and see if there's anything else we need to be kind of keeping an eye out for. She's double O-ringed, so I'm sure this one is as well. So just give her a little decent wiggle here. Come on, she's coming. Oh, there she went. And there is our old lead. Take your hats off. Moment of silence here. All right, put your hats back on. Moment of silence. But this thing, guys, for as long as I've had it, we've got our money's worth out of that one. I guarantee it. You know, they always say they just don't make them like they used to, but in some sense, there's some really good products out on the market today. And this little welder has been one of them. And I'm not sponsored by Miller, obviously, but I'd be lying to you if I wasn't, you know, saying that I've just absolutely love this little MIG welder. Gonna lick my finger and lube up our O-rings there. I'm sure that's the proper way to do it. Other than that, she's just a reverse install. Yeah. Except I'm hung up at her second O-ring. Get in there. I'm trying to fix you up nice. Fix you up real nice. Come on. Oh, did it go? Yeah. All right. She's in. She's in. Lock her down. Lock her down. Voice cracked a little bit. Hope y'all didn't hear that. Excuse me. I used our screwdriver and kind of pried the clamp open a little bit. Just put that in your back pocket when you're done. Pop your new cannon plug down on the bottom if you can get lucky enough to find the hole. Yep. Hold your tongue just right. She'll go. She's going, I think. No, she was not. Just playing. It's been a little ornery. It's got these little tangs hanging off there. Not a P-tang, that's me. Little things to guide that where it only goes on one way. So you gotta get her just right, quite literally. All right, let's flip her up where we can see real good like. Right there's this, that's it. Over here, focus. Whoa, 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 whoa. She sits sideways like a 1981 Cutlass on gold 13-inch wheels with the hydraulics. Turns out, if you can actually see, it's a lot easier to put it right on where it belongs. Feed her wire right back in and clamp her down. And this thing right here actually eases the tension on your wire, which, well, it eases the tension on this bearing, which we can check that since we're having troubles, and that feels fine. That obviously pushes down on your wire here, and this is your little drive wheel. Now your drive wheel has to be set to the proper size, which it's marked on there, so make sure you're set up right there. But I'm gonna back off some of this tension because I had her cranked down quite a bit, but we needed all we could get because we were probably fighting that stretched out, not so great liner. I'm hoping. We're gonna leave that open and do a little testing. Plug her in, turn on some gas, and get ready to weld a pass. We're gonna find us some scrap to practice on real quick. I ain't even done nothing besides pick it up, but I can tell you from being plumb over here already, I'm gonna like this. Oh yeah. See, I can come plumb over here now and weld on this backside. Before I would have been picking that up, stretching it over, bending it around, damaging our liner. That's what I would have been doing. Oh, actually, let's turn the gas back off. Squeeze the trigger. She kicks into high speed mode there, as you hear. And before too long, we should have some wire. What in the world? This thing didn't come with a tip. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, it did. There's a whole bag of them. I was about to call up Miller and put some boot up someone's hind end. There she be. And I do see right here, she actually came with 4 welding tips, which is nice, because the very first welding tip that I ever had in that welder lasted forever. And I'm assuming it was the Miller one that come with it. But I don't remember, but I'm talking about like months on months on months of welding with it, it seemed like. And welding tips is one of those things where you don't think it would make a huge difference, guys, but like a Lincoln Electric, I can get them for proper size wire and all that stuff. They do terrible in this thing. There's a couple other cheap brands I've tried from places. These ones right here, the Radnor, I guess. Those seem to do pretty good out of all the replacement ones that I can find local. Because heaven forbid we do the easy thing and just order the Miller ones that we know work really good offline, you know. That'd be too much work. If I can remember, I'll order some of them because it does make a difference when you get all the stuff just working beautifully. Crank the gas back on. Let's see if we can find us some scrap. 1/4 inch thick right here. This was that one C-notch I bent up incorrectly. We just missed by a hair. And we'll do a little practicing on it. We're even gonna get fancy enough to clean her up to some fresh metal. Get your old flap attack and go to town. Beautiful. That's shiny enough. If you look hard enough, you can see the reflection of a handsome devil in there. Just playing this devil so handsome, whenever I looked in that mirror, I shattered it apparently. Uh-oh. This old slick fitty, or flitty, as is what I was about to call him, that slick fitty combined. It looks like old Bill's in the passenger seat as well. About time we got all the boys back together. Let's go raise hell. Hey, Bill, you like his new wheels we got him?
Sort of.
Looks like Lego wheels. They're terrible.
Slick hates them. I just put them on there to upset him.
Oh. I was like, boy, they don't look like the ones in the picture he was showing me.
All right, Superman. That's some 14 gauge. I think Slick left me some 16. Either way, we're doing some swapping where I can get some middle metals is what I'm gonna call them, because I usually have 18 gauge for doing our sheet metal, if we're doing body work or fender wells, sheet metal stuff like that. And then usually the next thickness I have is 1/8 inch, which is what I like to use for boxing frames, crap like that. So having some stuff in between is needed sometimes, and I usually got to really scrounge for it. So just trying to expand our metal, what do you call it? Selection, if you're fancy. Speaking of fancy, I think me and the boys are about to go grab us a fancy sandwich, very fancy. And after that, we'll come back and see if we can't fire up this welder and practice with her. Got our sandwich, and Bill was giving me and Slick some marriage advice. And I ain't laughed that hard in a minute, and it was not very appropriate, so can't really be repeated on this channel. But Bill's on one is what I'm getting at. He come out here to check out the latest junkyard drag-ins. What are you talking about?
The old 60 Impala that we had.
Oh yeah.
Kid, I was supposed to get growing up.
He said he hit a bump after church and they bounced.
That was the Ford. It'd do the old Ford my mom had. The big old bump, and he'd go look at it the rest of the way home.
They were looking at old Roy here, and I thought I hit these, and Slick said you couldn't have got that any closer. I didn't realize I didn't actually hit them. That's just precision. When you're good, you're good. Yeah, it's got a good cab and front, which the cab on old Roy's actually really good too, except for the one hole on the wound. We were just curious how close I got. Bill said 80 thou. Stack these, that's 75 thou right there. Oh, she's tighter than that, Bill. Yeah, you gotta get your eyeballs recalibrated. I mean, that's pretty tight right there. That's about it. 49 thou. Precision. Not bad for Mr. No Depth Perception here, who's in the front shoving it with the Torola, not having a clue what was going on back there. I was like, I bet that's about close, and I hopped out and that's where it was. I just noticed that the moss growing on the... Y'all think that's moss, or is that the paint coming? Moss is the same color as the paint job on this thing they got on our tires and wheels. Didn't know if that old rig of his was gonna start or not. Our original, we were gonna do some welding, but I just kind of noticed something. That pushes on there so good. And this one, you see it has an O-ring, and you want that to seal because you're trying to control your gas flow, right? Well, this one, after I'd put that tip on there and I shoved it on there, it's just so cheesy feeling compared to this one. And yeah, sure enough, you look, this one don't have an O-ring. Now Slick has the same welder, and his was a lot newer than mine. And he said his did not have the O-ring there neither. Yep, sure enough, that piece seems like it'll thread out of there. If that's the case, I'm gonna swap them out. If they'll swap out. Oh, I see. Our liner's a little longer on this, but it did tighten down. It was just pushing that liner a little bit, so we'll just try it and see. Not sure why they would have quit using that O-ring, because sure seems a lot smarter to me to have it on. I don't know what's supposed to seal. I know it's got that little white thing there, but they don't seal to nothing. This right here, yeah, that feels 100 times better going on there. And we'll just keep this piece in our old little storage over here. Let's see how she welds. Way smoother. Holy cow. Should have done that probably a year or two ago. It's been slowly getting worse and worse to, you know, to the point where I ain't even been able to weld with it a couple times until I flip it around and find the sweet spot. And that right there was just smooth as butter. What a difference, guys. With it being messed up before, really the way I could keep it happy was almost dragging along, pulling your wire. So if you're welding, kind of pulling it along, just then I had it shoved straight down in. So if it ain't burning good and you have resistance right there, you should be getting popping and everything else. I think we've got a good sweet combo right here. The new lead plus that old piece with the O-ring, making sure we're flowing all the gas. Now I'm not trying to do any fancy welding, but that was the first time I tried it. That there was going the straight down end, and then just now I did that little funky pattern. I was just trying to change it something, the feet of the wire, to see if we were gonna get any kind of trouble, if it was gonna fight us at all, and it did not. That thing seemed super happy. Let's cut this in half and weld it together, see if we can actually throw down a nice looking weld. Slice her in half. Crank her heat up a little bit. Yeah, she's welding nice. A little rusty, so I think we could do better than that. We need a little more heat, and we're gonna quit stroking out so far and then try again. How was that? A little bit better. She's welding nice, guys. I promise you that welder has not welded that smooth in a good minute. I'm sorry it took me so long, baby, but thanks for being good to me. Now I've explained it, but I still see it in the comments because they've just been explained in random videos. So I'm gonna explain it again. Hush up, all right? And what I'm gonna explain is kind of the welding technique if you're trying to stack dimes like that. And we'll just go through it real quick. If you're after the look of just stacking dimes, there's several ways to do it. This is the way that I do it, and I know you still get a good weld, because that's the big debate. Oh, you're not actually welding, you could just drag it, get a better weld, whatever, guys. Several shops besides myself weld stuff like that. They've been on the road for decades now, and I'm sure some have broke, but none that I have done, and none that any other of the successful shops have done. So do you want to weld like that if you're building a bridge that's responsible for connecting islands together? Probably not. You know, if you're building a skyscraper, that's probably not going to pass whatever requirement. Not that cutting your truck in half should be taken lightly, but it's okay as long as you get the weld down. I don't know how else to explain it. So what I do is I actually do drag along like you're just doing a regular weld, just concentrating on like doing a little root pass basically down in there. This is my welder, by the way, and here's our two pieces of material. So I'll drag down along in there, and then once I go so far, you kind of go like a lowercase e. You curve up this way. Then as you come down here, it basically puts a big cap on it. I go back to the center, and then I just go forward again a little bit right there in the root. When I make it so far, I swoop up again, swoop back down, weld forward, swoop up, back around, weld forward, and that's what you're doing. And it would kind of look like this here: weld forward, lowercase e, like I said. Once we get back here, we're kind of welding forward, cap that sucker, welding forward, cap that sucker, welding forward, cap that sucker. And count in your head, guys. I'm like 1, 2, swoop, 1, 2, swoop. I keep that beat going, 1, 2, swoop. Everybody now fire up your welders and start. 1, 2, swoop, 1, 2, swoop. Better weld good and not weld like poop. 1, 2, swoop, 1, 2, swoop. You poor guys are gonna be practicing welding, singing that stupid song in your head now. You know, figure out your count, different thicknesses. I mean, you got to go different speeds and stuff, and it just takes practice, guys. I used to do a lot more just fabrication, and I used to be a lot better at it. But a couple more welds, and I ain't even mad at that weld. I'd put that on a truck, slap a little black paint on her, and call her good. All right. The more you practice, the better you get. Now, speaking of that welder, it does from thin to thick. I've welded 3/8 for sure. I think I've even done a couple things a 1/2 inch. Now, you don't want to do nothing too crazy with it. Should get buck nasty, but not buck super nasty. But that little welder right there is great for doing a little bit of everything. And for people who are curious, I keep 30 thousandths wire in it. I feel like that's a good in-between, a little bit better controlled for your frame style welding. If you're doing 35, you fill that up a lot quicker and you can't get the beat like I'm talking about, for me anyhow. And the 30 thou, it works if you're good on the sheet metal. You got to make sure you don't put too much of it in there as well. But 30 thousandths wire is my go-to. All right, now that we have our MIG happy, let's go see if we can get our TIG working again. Now I have pretty low standards over here because I am not a TIG welder, and I don't even mess with mine enough to ever really know how to set the crap up. I kind of just wing it and ding it, and it's gotten me this far. It's got me to the point of needing to replace the torch, even though I'd barely ever used that one. Probably because it sat there and dry rotted, and then when it got moved, it was not happy about it. I need to actually set up a cart probably for that TIG welder, where we can get it going mobile, because right now we're just gonna have to set her permanent, El Permanente, on our table here. First, we gotta get that off of there. Now that our doors are cut in, I gotta kind of figure out how to lay out this side as well. Oh, we may want to put that back in there before we get our butts zapped. I lost the screws. Go figure. Yeah, I'm sure I set them somewhere right here close, kind of like I'd set them, except I'm not sure where. Oh, this had a cover on it. Where did I set the cover? Find the cover, find the screws. Come out, wherever you are. Ha-ha! Seems like something I'd do. Let's get this side of the room happy. She's a little wedged. I think if we manipulate her just right, we can get it started. Here we go. Here before too long, I'm gonna have a shop add-on update for y'all. The progress has been made over there. And I'm hoping to get it finished out within the next 2 months. And then we'll be moving the merchandise business in there. Next we can test it, and we got a good test right here. Y'all see that nail hanging out? That sucker is just waiting to ruin somebody's day. We got power. Now around these doors, I'm planning on trimming them out with some 3.5 inch wide pieces of trim. Kind of like we put on the corner of our brick room over there. So I think we'll overlap it to the center of that. Or we could go all the way flush with the edge. Let's just go flush with the edge. Why not? Let's live a little. Get plumb crazy. 3.5, so we're going right there. Good thing we used that square to draw that perfectly crooked line. 56 inches. I'm actually gonna knock off an 1/8. We'll go 57 7/8. I wanna get that up because I don't wanna get our table slid here and our welder set up and then have to pull it out to do this in the future. Good thing I checked again, because obviously I can't read a tape, because we actually need to go 55 7/8, not 57. I don't know what I was thinking. My brain was not braining. Yeah. Hey, don't worry. We got power right there. Instead of fighting our old silicone, I'm just gonna slice it off here. That'll make it easier to put back on, or put the new stuff on. Go ahead and drill us a new hole right down there. We just broke that screw. We're off to a solid start here. Alright guys, we're back to what we were a few months ago. We're just going to be shop restoration people now. We're going to specialize in shop add-ons, modifications, adjustments, and more. Just playing. We're just going to go ahead and put some silicone on this though. You know, it's crazy. This is not a new tube of silicone. It's the whichever one I left in here last time. I just barely pushed on the gun and it shoved the hard piece right out the tip. And she's still rocking and rolling here. There we go. I need to dab a little black paint on them screw heads. I had to get my Phillips screws with see, these don't have threads down there, but these ones are full thread. So that way it could bite the OSB. Anyhow, I did our middle piece here and our end piece there. In here, I'm not gonna do, we're gonna put a piece of trim here and a piece of trim here. We may not even trim on here because I cut that so our trim can go up to this edge, and we'll just see how that looks. In the future, of course, I just figured since we're getting out the material to knock out that piece, we might as well do those as well while we're here. And that lets us now start figuring out where we maybe want to position some of this junk. I'm okay with semi-blocking this door, because obviously with our table here, we can't pull nothing in anyhow. So there's nothing wrong with lining it with equipment a little bit. We still obviously will bring stuff through it, so you don't want to full block it. I'm trying to decide if I want to set the TIG welder here or try to move that stuff towards here and then just set the TIG welder itself on the welding table. Oh, this thing's super light. I hope there ain't any giggling kids in here, because if there are and I catch them, I'm gonna have to give them a foot stomping. Who said y'all could use my trash can?
Where's my trash?
Shh. I tricked them that time. I hit it in a new spot. Don't take long running in jeans and boots and a hoodie. Get a little worn out of breath. I don't think that table's big enough for what I'm trying to accomplish there. So I'm just gonna kind of clean up this real quick. We don't got time to full organize it. But we just gotta get our welder where we can get to it real quick. Feels nice to have this side just a little clean again. It's been a stinking mess for a month or so. Ground that baby. And I got my reach all cord on this side, 220 that can reach all this shop. And last time we went to use this, we couldn't get no gas flow. We couldn't get no gas flow because, like I said, it was coming apart right there on our torch. And this is not what I need, because that is crimped, and this threads in, so that don't do us no good. It's frustrating. Guys, what's frustrating is you Google Everlast Power TIG 200 DV torch, and it pulls up 1,000 options, and like the first 4 you click on, you read it, it don't even shows that it's gonna work for this. So I read for a long time until I found a torch that said it worked with this exact model, and it does not. That just means we were over here doing this for a whole lot of no good. We could have looked at that from the jump. I mean, this needs cleaned up anyhow, but I'm frustrated, okay? I just want to get my damn TIG welder working again, and heaven forbid you think you'd just be able to pull one right up from Everlast or something. Back to the drawing board we go. Well, that's stinking annoying, guys. I was wanting to TIG, but anyhow, what can you do besides try to figure something else out to make some progress on? I don't mind that big table sander, whatever you call belt sander. I mean, you could probably sand a table. She's got some oomph to her. On our little welding table, it could be made to sit on just a stand, but that's about right size for that, really. We could leave her kind of centered up on there. The wire wheel, we almost need to be on this piece of the wall so we can have power, because we don't have power there or in that corner. So maybe we should whip up a little stand for that belt, not belt sander, flapper, wire, tacker. The thing that spins with the middle bristles. Let's go outside here and have a little look-see. There's some pieces, I think they had stored in the back of the GMC for the longest time till I pulled it up here. I'd cleaned out that bed. Where are they? Aha! These here. Those actually came with my lift, and I'm sure they were bolted on the pallet somehow or something. But as you see here, they could be table legs pretty easily. So let's see what we can figure out here. So looking at them here, they appear to be the same height. This one has angle iron as the cross members. This one just has some flat strap with some speed holes. Bonus. The more I look at these, they are wonky. Those ends are nice and crooked, don't actually sit flat. That'll be good, so as the wire wheel spins, the whole thing just vibrates and shakes around. That'll be good. I can't do it. They're wobbly, they're crooked, the flat strap's all bent to crap. The one piece of angle iron has a nice bow in it, so as much as I'd love to just junk some of this together, would it work? Yes. But do I think I would hate it every time I looked over there and seen it? Yes. When I'd save them, for some reason I thought they matched the same. I didn't even know one was flat strap and one was angle iron, and obviously I didn't know they were so whoopy, dude. Oh, so that was a good idea, but I think we're better off to just kind of study over there how we want to lay it out. Actually, what we're probably best off to do is find a tabletop or come up with something eventually that belt sander and the wire wheel both can sit on along that wall. And then that'll actually free up that welding table, which is kind of a waste to just set a belt sander on. That's probably the best idea yet. Well, nothing I'm doing is working out, so let's get over here and see if these will work out. These are a very special gift. They come from someone up north. His name's Duff. He don't have thumbs, but he has good taste. And I heard he sent me some of these. Oh, let's see what we got here. All right, there we go. Got a 3-piece setup. I'm just playing. I see a little ring in there as well. Let's get a little assembly going. That's a real fine thread down there. Yes, that is. So we've been needing some of these stands for our lift. Finally, the other day when I was thinking of some things we needed, I texted Sir Mordecus. I knew he had a couple that he uses, and I just asked him which brand he uses. And about 20 minutes later, he replied back with, "You'll have a couple there Thursday," or something like that. What a guy he is. He's a good man, believe it or not, guys. I know we give each other a hard time. I call him grumpy and all that. But old Mortsky, he's a good dude. There's been several times now when y'all thought that me and him were actually mad at each other, and we're always just playing around with each other. I don't know why some of them people take it so serious. me and him enjoy giving each other a hard time. It's just the kind of people we are. If you were to hang out with us in the shop, guess what? We'd give you a hard time too, especially if we like you. And there's people who just can't seem to grasp that buddies, car guys, like to give each other a hard time in the shop. And to us, we're doing it. Yeah, it's online, but we're in the shop when we're doing it. I just can't believe there's so many sensitive people out there who it would like really bother them. Where does this go? Down here? How's this work? Base, stand, then, we're gonna figure this out together. Pretty sure we just slide them on there. Hi-ya! Yeah, gotta hold that, of course. But you can just spin that baby. 1,500 pounds under hoist support stand. We've needed them when we were doing the GMC cut down. Yeah, we had everything stripped off the back of that long bed with all that stuff in the front. It was wanting to teeter-totter. I was having to chain it to the arm of the lift. Now, besides that one, we shortened the frame. I think before too long, we're gonna be stretching a frame, all right? Just gonna plant that little seed there. Just tease you a little bit with that. Woo! Woo! This one's all there. This one is girthy. Mortsky bought me the stands, but he didn't offer to buy that transmission jack for me, so I just bought one I found online. I think it's the same brand as that airbag jack that whoever sent me. Aye, aye, Captain. I get to be the captain of this ship around here.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
I don't even think I've ever seen one of these in person. How much is this supposed to hold with them welds there, huh? Look like a hitch a little bit, don't it? Got whatever this is. In fact, we got two of them. We got the Foot Stomper Deluxe. Of course, it's not full welded on the backside. Why would it be? Woo! We got the girthy ram. That's what's heavy right there. Dang, can't even get a nice ram nowadays. They done ran the paint on it. Yep. Then we got this thing. Why would that not come installed in there? Probably just so it could lay down for shipping or something, I don't know. But that's supposed to go in there, I'm sure of it. All right, my favorite is putting together a little dumb stuff like this. So let's figure her out. First up, our pedal. Dang, we gotta find some snap ring pliers. They're making me get fancy. These probably aren't gonna work, but we're gonna try it. Nope. All right, come with me in the old hidey hole here. Haha, I was gonna say one of these somewhere. These will work. There we go. Be sure to pull the side that ain't gonna really help you, because this side can't come out this way because of our little lever here. Oh man. Yep. Tight fit. Can't believe that didn't work. That's good. Now I just gotta put all that back together. Silly me assuming that that was actually gonna hold all that together. Now how do they expect me to compress that? Real easy like that. I don't really got a way I can get in there and clamp that. Yeah, I do. See if we can't zip tie it just enough to hold her down. No! It was so close. Ah, man oh man. I went with the zip tie attack again, and this time it went much better. I had the right idea the first time, just had to be a little more patient than what I was being. It's always a good sign with the cheap snap ring bends. All right, she's on. Nylock, that goes in there. Put that back like that. Now we gotta get that. Now we gotta get this down in there and tightened up. So that ain't gonna fit in there. But that 13mm wrench will. All right. Well, I really hate assembling stuff. Yo, it's not that it's hard. It's just, I don't know. It's one of them things. It has to be done. We need the tool. But to me, there ain't nothing fun about this. Now, what is this and how does the rest of this crap go together? Yep. What's the worst that could happen? Huh. What is this? Does this just clamp on here? Or you've got a way to grab it? Something like that. Nice and level. There we go, much better. So that just sits in there. There we go. Let's get her pumping. Oh! I did not know this was a dual stage ram. Did y'all just see that? Once that one maxes out and it deadheads, it starts going more. I was gonna say, how's that sucker gonna reach that tall? That's how. It looks like these and these go together somehow. I don't know. I might have to look one up if I'm being honest. All right, I'm not sure I have this all correct, but I think all this is supposed to be adjustable per situation anyhow, so we're not too worried about it. I think we're good. Well, I did not exactly get done what I wanted did. I was really hoping to get that torch swapped out for the TIG, and then I was planning on spending an hour or two practicing on that thing, which obviously did not get to happen, so that kind of hindered my plans to get some practice in there. But that's all right, I guess. It is what it is. We cannot change it. Today is my trash day, so I need to gather all the trash around here and get it down to the trash cans. And then I'm gonna go inside. Kiddos are about to go back to school from their break they've been on, so I'm gonna try to spend a little time with the family. Yeah, we went on vacation, but if y'all's anything like me, vacations are not even relaxing. It seems like you gotta do a million things when you're on them, so you're go, go, go. So on a day like today where I can take care of some of the small stuff around here, take care of some of the merch stuff behind the scenes that I didn't really record, and then be able to get in at a decent time, spend time with the family. That's more of a vacation to me. I still feel like I accomplished some stuff. Tell you what I can't wait to accomplish is getting us a lean-to out here where I can finally hook up that compressor where we ain't got to hear that one anymore. But I still feel like I accomplished stuff, and I still get to get in at a decent time actually, which is nice. So I guess that's it. Hopefully the little welder stuff kind of helped you. Maybe a little bit, a couple little tips and tricks there. Coming up on the second channel, people's been asking again. I just get it since I've ever been on YouTube what equipment I use and some tips and tricks there. And I think I'm going to cover some of that for some of you guys. So if you're thinking about starting up a channel, maybe I can help you with a little bit of advice anyhow. And much other than that, anything else I can think that we would get into, I'm just going to say for another second channel video. So that's it, guys. I appreciate all the support here on the second channel. I've kind of been, I don't know, kind of figuring out what to do with the second channel, and I just realized that it's going to be necessary so I can take care of the stuff behind the scenes and keep some videos going out. So I just appreciate all the support from you guys being here to watch the second channel, because at the end of the day, YouTube is a business. So I either do the stuff and I don't record it and I lose a day, or I can make a video out of it, and though it ain't the greatest and we don't always get the most work done, y'all still come back and watch it, which helps support me and my family. So thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna start saying this in my videos. If you have not subscribed, but you're someone who comes back and watches, which I have not checked the analytics of the second channel. Let's look at it real quick. Aha, here we go. Let's look for the previous year. Not subscribed, 44% of people who come back and watch. And that number is just about the exact same on the main channel. And people don't have to be subscribed, but I hear that the more subscribers you get, the more it helps you get into the algorithm and stuff like that. So if you have not subscribed, I'm going to encourage you guys to subscribe. I know you're thinking you got to create an account, but nowadays, usually if you have an email, it automatically links or whatever. And if you don't, no big deal. I appreciate y'all coming back just to watch the videos. It means the world to me. PuddensFabShop.com for that good quality merchandise. All the OG shirts from the pre-order have been shipped out by this point. Yep, for sure. So if you've had any issue with that, just be sure to let us know. Now, y'all probably would have let us know by now because you should have all had them all. So if you do, holler at us. I'm not sure what we've released because my scheduling's all messed up. So just always keep an eye out there for some of that good stuff. We appreciate all support there. I'm on the Patreon. I'm on the Instagrammer. And I will see you guys next time. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. Ordering the wrong torch, where you can't actually weld and set up your TIG welder, getting the wrong parts also will not finish your project. I'm going to go order one of them. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm glad we didn't destroy that box because we're going to have to send that one back. Hot damn, there's so much BSery, we had to start a whole channel for all the extras. Be sure to go check out Puddin's Fab Shop if you ain't seen that baby yet. Come on!